Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast of Solitude. It's me, Colm, with my two buddies, Jordan and Sam. We're here this Sunday. That's Sam, and the other guy's Jordan. We're here this fine Sunday evening to discuss the latest episodes of the Winter Soldier. And give me a second, my window's open and I can hear a lot of noise.
Oh man, the festival's happening outside. What's it like living in? Yeah, what's it like living in the UK where you can go outside and see people?
Great start. There we go. Right. Anyway, as I was saying, so we're gonna talk more nerd stuff tonight.
Yep.
Also,
this is episode 5 of Falcon and Winter Soldier for anyone that doesn't know.
But first of all, we'll give a big shout out to all our listeners out there. So we've seen the stats. We know we have 3 listeners.
Well, we know there's been 3 downloads.
This could be one person, in which case, love you and never leave.
If it's one person, then that's a very lucky person because they get the equivalent of 3 big shout outs tonight. Shout outs to our 3 listeners.
I like to think that in 10 years' time, when we're the most popular podcast on the planet, and Joe Rogan is begging to come to our podcast, there'll be that one person like, well, I was there before they had any listeners. I'm the biggest fan, and you are, and we appreciate you.
Yeah, and it's probably Joe Rogan.
It probably is.
It is.
You can, you joke. You can imagine Joe Rogan like, "Hey, start a podcast. Maybe we'll just give this a go. That'd be the thing he'd do.
Maybe.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Or maybe it's Mr. Sunday Movies.
Doubt it.
I don't know. I think we should change our name to the Weekly Planet.
I think so. I doubt they've trademarked it.
I think it's been taken.
Also, though, what would save us a lot of bother? If every week it was a 2-minute recording of us saying, just go listen to the Weekly Planet. They're just better. They're just this, but better.
Yeah. 2 minutes, but at the end of our podcast, they have to listen to us first, Jordan.
No, I think we just make it the whole. That's the whole thing. Just, hey, we're the podcast of Solitude. Go listen to the Weekly Planet.
I wonder if we just make our podcast just constant advertisements if we actually get a lot of listeners. Just product placement.
Maybe just a recommendations corner.
Yeah. Just until we get the listeners. And then, once we've got the listeners, then we actually talk about the stuff we're meant to talk about. Up until then, we just give shout outs to other podcasts and other products.
And not much else.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna have a quick look at our stats overview here, because I think we're doing pretty good. We have a couple spikes. On March 28th, 2 listeners. On Friday, April 16th, 1 listener. We're peaking, guys. We're peaking. And
is this including that? Is this just downloads, or how does this work?
No. This is daily listeners. This is daily listeners.
Okay. Yeah.
And then it says, 100% of download sources are from Google Chrome. 100%. Nice.
I don't think that's good. Nah.
Shout outs to all those guys in Silicon Valley. Those Google Chromers.
Yeah, switch to Firefox. It's better.
Yeah. Switch to Opera. You get built-in VPN. VPN.
I just pay for VPN like real people. Be a man. I don't pay for VPN. I don't have a VPN.
Isn't Opera owned by some Chinese front for the Chinese government?
Probably.
At them. I know there's a server. I know there's someone free VPN that my dad told me once. Yeah, they're just a front for the Chinese government. And now I wish I'd written down what they were called.
Google.
You know what? I'm going to Google this.
In fairness,
Chinese president.
Who isn't?
In fairness, whenever I picked out my sister's, what do you call it? It was her birthday or Christmas present. My parents were like, "Oh, we'll get her a new phone because her last one died." And they're like, Jordan, you pick one within A and B price range and whatever. Just pick a good phone. And I was like, yeah, cool. And I picked a Hawaii, whatever it was.
So good.
And then my girlfriend was giving out to me that I picked that phone. Because she was like, oh, the freaking Chinese government, they're spying on people through it. They were literally caught doing it. I was like, yeah, well, they were caught.
It's all Western,
You with your
Western propaganda, man. Don't give in.
We are.
Is
We are
Western
getting political.
propaganda, man.
So, Huawei cameras look so cool on Huawei's. Like, so cool.
I honestly think Hawaii's or Huawei's even are just worse Samsungs.
I own a Samsung and
I can't speak from experience. But, yeah.
I use a Sony
anyway.
phone because I'm a moron.
Well, I use iPhone because I'm a cool
rich.
kid.
Oh, cheapers.
It's a
Ugh.
It's not iPhone 8. It's not even the most modern one.
Anything after the 6 in the bin, in my opinion.
Anyway,
Enough
enough
to our
about
podcast where we talk about movies and TV shows.
yeah. So we've given a few shout out all our sponsors and stuff. We're sponsored by Google, sponsored by Huawei. And we're just like the central. Everyone loves us and everyone wants us to sponsor them kind of people. So yeah,
Yep.
Today we're gonna talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 5, which is the second last episode of season 1 of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I say season 1, it's probably only seasons, but
It's a mini series, I think. So yeah.
It is.
it is a
Yeah.
mini-series. Yeah. So if either of you want to start us off straight off the bat, then go ahead.
Are we gonna do non-spoilers and spoilers, or are we just gonna go straight to spoilers?
If we have much non-spoiler stuff to talk about, I think we might as well just like quickly touch on it.
I don't.
Me neither.
Look, go watch it. If you're gonna watch it,
Yeah,
watch it.
good.
It's the best. If you've liked any of the other episodes, this is the best one so far.
If you're listening to a podcast where we talk about the 5th episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier and you haven't watched the show yet, what's wrong with you? know?
And if you've made it this far, which is like 15 minutes into our podcast, then we reckon you're going to stay anyway. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think this episode is the most down-to-earth one anyway. Is a non-spoilers thing. And there's more... It's more character-focused than plots. Like it doesn't really move the story forward as much as the other ones, but it's probably the best one.
Yeah, it moves the characters forward. I think more than anything.
Yeah, I can agree.
All right, so we're saying spoiler warning off the bat?
Yep, that's good to it.
Cool. Spoilers. John Krasinski shows up.
As Walmart Captain America.
No, he's not in the show yet.
Yet.
There's Steve Rogers is back, and he's Iron Man.
Did it take you 15 minutes to think of that? You were sitting there for like a minute going, Steve Rogers.
I had to say something. Spoilers. It's just in.
Thanos is back.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
This is a
Spoilers.
crossover episode.
With what?
With story.
Spoiler alert, Colm is cracked. Alright. I suppose we'll try to go as chronologically as possible. I like the fight.
You are more of the expert in that because I've watched this on Friday, so I barely remember what happened.
Yeah, I finished this fight.
Yeah, I did too.
Alright, it started off, and John Walker, Captain America, is running down a street, and he runs into a warehouse, and he has some flashbacks, and then he gets into a fight with Bucky and Falcon. And Bucky like breaks his arm and takes the shield off him, which was pretty cool.
It's big.
Took him long enough.
It's the best fight yet in the series, in my opinion.
I think so.
I mean, we haven't got that many fights, I guess. They've been quick. This one is like the most Marvel choreographed. Like it's quite Civil War. If you liked the end fight Civil War.
It was very Winter Soldier, I thought.
Yeah.
It's the most intricate I think we've ever seen anyone get with the shield, other than throwing it. Because Walker's doing a lot of like flipping it on his head to keep Bucky at bay, and
Well, he has to because he doesn't know what to do. Apart from that, because he's just some dude. Remember?
Well, no, he's a super soldier serum now.
Yeah, but he's still just some dude.
I mean, some dude as far as like special forces are concerned.
Three Medal of Honor, Sam.
3 medals of honor. Medal of honors. Honorable medals.
Medals of honor. This is.
Yeah. What happens then? So and then Bucky throws the shield down in front of Sam, and they all just go their separate ways, I guess.
They just
They can do.
Yeah,
but then he comes back.
Which one?
Bucky comes back later on in the episode.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
What?
Bucky. He spends the second half of the episode helping them fix their boat.
Yeah, they kind of going separate ways, just a bit dramatic, I think. I think he waited for Sam to get up, and then he just walked together.
Well, I mean, they had to give Sam 20 minutes alone to go speak to Isaiah Bradley.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Where he drops the very inspirational quote, "Sometimes there's nothing to do until there's something to do." I wrote that one down because I knew I was going to come back to that.
Wait, isn't that...
Cool.
No, wasn't that the other guy said that?
Who?
Torres?
Is that who you're talking about?
No, I was talking about Isaiah Bradley, the black super soldier from the 70s or whatever it was.
Yeah, but first he goes to Torres.
His house? Yeah, he does, but who cares?
I do.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm very offended
Well,
that you don't.
What do you have to say, Sam, about that conversation?
I literally just said what I had to say.
Hey, I wonder if Sam becomes Cap, Torres will become Falcon, because Sam is kind of left.
Well, that's what happens in the comics.
Cool. I was also going to say. Actually, I'll come to the end. I was going to mention the big end with the suitcase, but I'll come to that.
Man, there's a lot of dead air in this episode.
I'm trying to think of what happened.
I'm happy we skipped the non-spoiler part because it was just going to be worse with that.
Yeah, I was just going to do 15 minutes of silence before we go spoilers.
Okay, there's a lot of character development. Sam comes back to help his sister. Finally, that's kind of been a thing going on in the background of the series so far, with like the financial difficulties and their family boat and stuff. And he helps fix the boat, and they help fix the boat together as a team, and it's very wholesome. And then Bucky comes back, and also helps.
There was a boat montage.
Yes, there was a boat montage, guys. This is why we watch this show. It's so good. And then.
Yeah, Jordan?
Oh, sorry. Flip. There's a boat montage.
Montage. It's so cool.
Before or after that? No, wait, no. Before the boat montage.
So we're talking about. We'll talk about Isaiah. Yeah.
Yeah. So he goes back to Isaiah Bradley's house, and Isaiah's basically he fills us in a little more on what happened in the 70s, and the U.S. Army was basically just picking soldiers at random and hitting them up with different versions of the super soldier serum, and whatever it was about Isaiah Bradley or Isaiah Bradley's serum, he's the only one that didn't just melt when he got it, basically. So they locked him in jail and experimented on him to try and figure out why that was. That was pretty interesting, and it was really weird to me for this episode, because it's like they tried to take the shield and say, oh, this is kind of a symbol of darkness and the government acting up and the government being racist. But they say that, but the only time that shield had been used was by Steve Rogers, who was none of those things.
Yeah. I think more than anything, it's just kind of like a one-sided thing, just because anytime a government is involved with anything, you always get two sides. And just because Cap represents America, you can just be like, yeah, well, Americans aren't all good people.
Uh-huh.
Well, that shield was kind of the reason that they did those experiments on him.
That's a very good point. That is a very good point. Yeah. But also,
I think that's what I'm trying to say.
It kind of makes you wonder as well whether Steve was lucky in getting the serum, like whether he was like Isaiah or if they would tried the serum on someone else, whether they would have just melted.
Yeah. You imagine if
They're really
Captain
going to explore
America.
that.
You imagine if Captain America: The First Adventure just ended with Steve melting inside that giant fridge.
Yeah. Like Raiders of the
Instead, we
Lost
see one of
Ark
the
style.
instead we see one of the douchebags from the army camp that was training with Steve become Captain America. That would be great.
Just one of the guys that constantly berated him. Yeah, no, I mean it was a good moment.
What's the moment? Yeah. Also, it's a very good point of view. Kind of like you can see where Sam and Isaiah are coming from. Like they both have different opinions on what the shield represents, and you can both kind of see their views, which is really cool. I feel like this is probably one of the most ambitious Marvel shows or Marvel things so far in terms of character exploration. And they can do that just because of all the time they have for the TV show, which is like really, really cool. Because a lot of the time, especially when you're watching the movies, you can see very clearly where people stand and whether they're in the right or in the wrong, who is more in the right or more in the wrong. Whereas for this show, there's a lot more controversy in terms of where people stand and stuff, which is quite cool.
I don't know. I don't think I agree with you there.
Yeah, I'm a bit on the fence on that one. But go ahead.
I like. Okay, well, we'll bounce back to you, Sam. But I like the fact that with Isaiah Bradley and with Falcon, they're kind of leaving it vague, and leaving it as very much of, oh, this is Isaiah Bradley's opinion. This isn't necessarily right. It could be, but this is very much how he feels. And you can tell there's a lot of bias from him because, well, it's a very subjective experience, and that's all well and good. And the John Walker thing, I feel like really, I don't think any of what happened was his fault, except maybe decapitating a guy in the street. But really, the U.S. government just taking some guy and being like, all right, go fight super soldiers. That's on them. I feel.
Yeah, it is completely on them. Yeah, and there's just lack of supervision as well. Like you have this new guy, Captain America, and they've basically just said, yeah, we think you're good enough. You do the missions, go out with like minimal support.
Yeah, it's like they should have given him command of like a couple of teams of guys, which he kind of had. You saw it. We saw it in the last episode where he raided that guy's den. Where the flag smashers were hiding out. I think it was an arcade or something, and he had he had an armed response unit with him.
Those were just German armed response unit.
Oh, were they? They were just cops.
Yeah, they were just yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Germany's version of SWAT is what they were.
Yeah. Okay. So he is actually just winging it. Great.
It's just him and his sidekick that died in the previous episode.
Yeah. Well, it's so nice just him, except that.
Yeah. And also the fact the U.S. government just like Steve. It was different to Steve because Steve was like a super soldier and everything. U.S. government know this guy isn't a super soldier. They've just like they've literally thrown him out in the same situations they've thrown Steve out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah.
The biggest thing for me, though, just to go back to what you were saying in character development, Colm, what I don't get is the fact that I get empathetic villains is the thing that people like to see, but they're doing this whole thing with Carly, especially in the last episode where Falcon was like, oh no, you're maybe not a bad person. And she's like, they tried to get us to empathize with the displaced people.
Yeah, they're kind of leveraging on that.
And then it's like, no, she blew up a building. Like she killed 4 people needlessly. She's just a terrorist, and they try to make it seem like they're getting no support because that one guy that was teaching the classroom kids was like, oh, we called the GRC 6 months ago and haven't received anything. Call back. That's just any government.
Yeah. I definitely agree with
call
that.
them again.
Yeah.
Or go steal some super soldier serums and just start blowing up buildings. No, she's a bad bloke, and she should feel bad. Like, I have no.
She doesn't even feel bad. That's like straight away a red flag. It's just like
exactly.
Zero. Yeah.
So this is the only language I speak in a governor, and it's like, well.
Also, is she a British actor? Because the British accent seems fake to me.
It comes and goes.
It really does. Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
must
Yeah, but
I must look it up. But yeah.
anyway,
I'm
Sam,
looking
you
it up
had
right
something. Go for it. You had something to say as well, Sam, about the character development.
I'm not really sure if I'd say it's like the most intricate Marvel's done, honestly.
Name someone more intricate.
Iron Man.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. Like correction. And most intricate they've done in like a short space of time. Within, like,
Killmonger.
a few episodes.
Yeah, Killmonger.
I'm gonna say Killmonger is probably the most intricate thing they've done.
I would agree. Although it's been a while since I've seen the movie.
That overrated movie.
Yeah.
He was the best part of it, though.
Also, the actress is British.
Oh, okay. Turns out we just wanted something funny to mock.
True. She was also in Solo, where she played the exact same character.
Carly Morgenthau, leader of the Flag Smashers.
Yep.
Huh. How about that?
I mean, there's a lot going on in this episode as well, in the series. Like there's the Flag Smashers, and then there's the whole John Walker saga. Then there's Bucky and Sam's relationship, and then there is Zemo stuff. And there's a lot going on. And also, that's another thing. No more Zemo has this episode. I mean, second last episode as well. It just means we probably won't see him next week.
Yes,
Yeah,
we'll never see him again. This is it. Never again.
He'll be back.
He'll be
Also-
back. I doubt he'll be back next week though, but he's definitely back at some point.
I'm kind of surprised. The whole what are the Wakanda people called again? Dora
Milaje.
Milaje.
Yes.
I'm kind of surprised Dora Milaje didn't just like show up to the government and say, "Yeah, we want him," because it's basically what they did when they like just stood ground on John Walker and just said, "Yeah, we have jurisdiction wherever we are." No, they've probably done something before, but whatever.
It's a good point.
What else?
Oh, but since you brought up pundits, can they stop trying to make White Wolf a thing?
That's Geralt of Rivia's thing. Just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't. When I hear White Wolf, I don't think,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's Bucky.
Yeah.
No.
One, the show is called Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Two, it's only them they call him White Wolf.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's two very good reasons. But yeah, I think this is the best Bucky episode as well so far. I really like Bucky in this episode, and you can see how he's progressing. And damn, he's gonna have like really awkward conversations next week if he's like going around apologizing to people. That like, I wonder how that's gonna go down with that.
I just know after the main conflict, or at the very start, he's gonna go to that old Asian man
Yeah.
and be like, "I killed your son. Sorry."
Alright.
And that guy's gonna freak out,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be sad.
Yeah.
Gonna
And then
be
he's-
sad.
And then he's gonna go to that lady that works in the bar and say, "Sorry, I walked out mid-date, didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Not terrorist in Germany. Sorry."
Sorry, I didn't tell you the real reason I wear gloves. Sorry.
I actually am 97 or however old I said I am.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Then he writes a name off the list. That's one more.
Yep.
That's good enough. I don't need to do the rest. Fair enough.
And then he goes to Steve Rogers and says, "Sorry, we talked to you. We're sorry we talked about you as if you weren't here anymore. We're sorry. We know you're still here."
I do love the fact that they refuse to say he's dead or say even Falcon or Bucky.
I wonder
Like,
if it's just like strategic, where it's like Marvel are gonna like have a movie in like a few years time, and they're just like, "Oh, we can still say that like Steve's around," and we see this like really old dudes just like show up and take everyone down.
I think it is. I think it is just a card they're going to keep in their back pocket in case they can get Chris Evans back and do some time travel stuff or some like. Didn't in the comics Captain America go bad for a whole 5 minutes? Is that Hail Hydra?
I never read that, but yeah, I know the plot.
I heard about that. Yeah.
So they could do something like that. I'm eating cake, by the way.
Nice, Harrison.
Yeah, come here.
Share with the class.
Get a boat. You hop in your car and Colm hop in a boat.
Okay, I'll be there in 8 to 10 hours.
I don't know if it's going to
Jordan will
be.
have eaten it all, and then Jordan will have eaten the whole thing, and then he'll be like, "Oh no, they weren't cake." He's gonna bake another one, and he's gonna eat that one as well.
Yeah, 8 hours is too long, Colm. This is on you.
I'm sorry. So yeah, we've talked. Yeah, maybe he'll just create. Maybe Steve will just create time remnants of himself. You know?
Yeah,
It'll just be like a bunch of Steves just like all over the place in present day.
maybe
It'll
he
just, like,
actually is on the moon.
CGI. Maybe he actually is on the moon. Yeah, it's like when Bucky lied about his age, like, and the girl thought he was joking, and then Sam lied about the moon, and the guy thought he was joking.
What about what do you call it? I like the fact that halfway through the episode, it's basically just Bucky and Sam just chilling on a boat.
Yeah, I really like that.
Montage.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that we kind of mentioned whenever we started doing these weekly episodes. That, like we'd like to see just Bucky and Sam moments. We got two very good Bucky and Sam moments. We got that part where they were on the boat, and then we got the part where they were just like throwing the shield about and just kind of talking. But okay, shield scenes in this episode really good. Every scene with the shield is really cool.
Yeah.
How do
Like
we
that-
feel about the fact that a bunch of 10-year-old kids can just lift it and play around with it?
Yeah, I say vibranium was meant to be super light.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know. Who cares?
It's like carbon, but just way more expensive and way more lighter.
Don't you think that game, like a frisbee they were playing in the backyard, because they were just having a conversation and throwing the shield.
Yeah, it's like just like a father-son game of catch.
Yeah, but it's like if one of them stopped paying attention for a second, say
I know, I
answer a question, it's like they would just cut one of the like. I actually like when Sam threw the shield when that scene started up first, it came right back to his face, and I remember thinking, "This is it. He's just dead." Over.
That's something I've thought about this before. Do you think the shield? I don't think the shield isn't actually sharp. It's just like when you throw it with enough force, the bluntness just digs in, which will be even more. It'll be even more painful than the cut.
Yeah,
you can see itself. Yeah. Yeah. I think that scene was cool, and then just the scene where Sam was like, just like
The
properly training was just ultimate.
Yeah, the training montage, that was great.
Training montage was
Yeah.
so cool. I wonder
That
if
was
he
my
did
favorite
this
part of the movie.
movie.
The movie.
Yeah.
You
The movie.
You moron, Sam.
You moron, Sam. What are you doing here?
What are you, buffoon?
What do you think this is? The movie of Solitude? What?
What do you think this is? Idiot her?
Anyway, do you think he did all those stunts himself? Sam stuff.
I was wondering about that because there's a bit where he like flips and catches the shield.
Yeah,
I thought that was a stunt actor.
I was pretty sure it was.
I feel like if it wasn't, they would have like actually shown his face a lot more after to demonstrate the fact he could do it. I bet you Tom Cruise wanted to catch that shield.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah. And he does like an insane stunt every movie he's in. I bet he was like, "Oh no, just throw a metal shield at me. I'll catch it. I'll catch it with my teeth."
I can see Tom Cruise being the next Captain America.
I was just going to say, he'd make a great Captain
I actually
America.
can. He really would. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys see that? That guy made that video. It was like Tom Cruise's presidential race.
No.
It's the greatest thing ever. And this guy doing a Tom Cruise impression looks kind of like Tom Cruise, and then he doesn't. And then he laughs, and the face he makes while he laughs, he just transforms into Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
I'll go find it and I'll send it to you. It's one of the best videos on the internet.
Send it to all our listeners. So.
Listeners, send me your email addresses.
No. Email us, and then we'll just email you. Please email us, please.
Yeah, send us some emails. Yeah. So no, I like the fact that they finally buried the hatchet. There's like no animosity anymore between Bucky and Sam. I know I've been saying I want to get over that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it took them 5 episodes, but now that we're here, I'm happy enough.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was also the first episode where we had scenes with the two of them where they didn't act like an old married couple. And it was very refreshing to watch, at least for me.
Yeah. And some sparks flying between Bucky and Sam's sister. Whoa. Okay.
It's definitely a season finale, final scene of heartfelt moments, and then Sam comes in at the end, and it's really awkward.
Maybe the final scene is just Bucky going crazy, thinking, does he want the lady that works at the Japanese restaurant, or does he want Sam's sister? And he's just going insane, wondering which one will he
And
call.
then he accidentally like plans a date like the same night, same time, same place. Just like people show up and it's just like, oh no, and then there's like cliffhanger for season 2, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
It's
Oh,
like
no. It won't be Falcon and Winter Soldier. It'll be Captain America and the
White Wolf.
White Wolf.
Which Superman movie was it where Clark Kent gets on he goes on a date with Lois Lane as Superman and as Clark Kent with another woman at the same time, and he has to like come up with wacky antics to get out of the room, change, and then fly in another window or whatever. Which one's that?
I think it was Superman 2. I watched that scene like
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't Superman 2. It definitely wasn't 2. It was either 3 or 4.
Oh, okay then. I watched that scene a few weeks ago.
No, I don't think it was because I've never seen 3 or 4, and I know that scene. Like I know that from seeing it in the movie, not from a clip.
No, but here's the thing. I've seen 1 and 2 a lot from when I was a kid, and those are the 2 I remember. And it never happens in those 2.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% sure. I would bet my firstborn child on it.
All right, let's find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then it leads to the part where Lois goes to get changed and he's just like standing there in Lois's apartment, and whenever she leaves the room he just like stands up really tall and takes off his glasses and just looks like Superman, and she comes back and just like slouches again.
Well, that's a different scene in Superman 1 though.
No, that's the same. It must be Superman 1 then, because he's
It
with the
doesn't
girl
happen.
as Superman and then he goes to Lois's apartment.
That's not Superman 1. I will promise you right now that's not the first Superman movie.
Okay. Anyway, we'll talk about this maybe next week. Maybe we'll just talk Superman next week.
I don't want to.
Also, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Do you guys think that Sharon Carter might be the power broker?
Very possibly.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping for more of a reveal.
She seems a bit dodge.
She's acting a bit sus made among us.
She is. There is actually so much going on. It's a good show, but there's so many focal points. It's just kind of hard to follow everything. Like we've kind of just Sharon's not really part of the main arc as much anymore, but we still see a lot of her. And then we have John Walker, who's not allowed to do anything, but there's something going on now with that woman who I can't remember her name, who says, "Give me a call, I'll get you out of this sticky situation."
Val. Sorry, I'm just choking on cake and tea here. Yeah, Val with the blue streak in her. I don't know what she was about.
Yeah.
And then John Walker's just making a new shield in his basement.
Yeah, that thing's gonna break after the first throw.
That's gonna break.
I was gonna say, you're gonna throw that at someone who's gonna fold in half.
Yeah, like literally, like they're gonna have a scene where he smashes his shield against the actual shield, and it just breaks into 1,000 little pieces.
It just breaks his arm again.
Yeah.
He's making a cardboard shield and
he's putting his many medals of honor on it.
Yeah.
What a wacky boy.
John Walker. We need more John Walker memes. I haven't seen more memes, but we need John Walker.
I saw one a minute ago just before starting the podcast. Let me see if I can go find it. You two talk about something.
Cool.
I have a couple saved on my phone somewhere.
I like that your country has oil and it's on point in the gun.
No, it's him smashing a shield.
Oh, that's the more recent. Yeah, smashing a shield. POV, your country has oil.
Where's the lie?
Should we go straight to the end about the briefcase thing? Because I kind of want to talk about the briefcase.
Go for it.
Go.
Okay, it's either going to be new Falcon wings or Captain America outfit. And Marvel have teased new Falcon wings since the beginning. It's kind of probable, but if it is new Falcon wings, that means he'll be Captain America with a shield with Falcon wings. He'll be cool.
Yeah, it's going to be both. It's going to be a new Captain America suit with wings attached.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah.
You think about how quick though the Dora Milaje got back to him in that book. He's like, hey, I need a favor. I need a specific Captain America suit, but with Falcon wings. As if, say, the guy that Falcon became Captain America. How quick could you get me one of those? And then he just shows up and he has it.
Also,
we've got one of those saved in the van. Don't worry.
Yeah,
No.
we have this.
I'm kind of surprised why they owe him a favor.
Yeah,
What has he done to help them out?
well, he did hand over Zemo, I guess. Did he?
Yeah, there's no way they
Yes,
could have
but
gotten
no.
Zemo on their own.
He stood in their way for 8 hours.
That is
More than 8 hours.
In a way, they gave him like 3 favors: a new arm.
Yeah.
They
Arm.
deprogrammed him and gave him 8 extra hours as opposed to just kicking his teeth in.
Yeah.
In a way, he owes them 4 really big things.
Yo, thanks for doing all that cool stuff for me. So anyway, that favor that you guys owe me.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you guys to step up and help me out here.
Yeah.
That was good. I'm excited to see what they do next week. I was kind of annoyed they didn't show us the suit.
Yeah,
but
me too.
At the same time, they did that with Daredevil season 1, even though that's a completely different studio. But you know, it's to be expected.
It's going to be like Smallville with after Sam says, "No, I'm not putting on that suit," and then they have to like CGI the suit on Sam from like a distance, and it's just we don't get to see it properly on him.
Right. Can you imagine
That'd be
if
incredible.
Sam Wilson just said, "You know what? I've changed my mind. Captain America is racist or something." Then he just stays home and paints a boat.
Then John Walker gets the Falcon wings and shield.
And then he starts screaming about how he's the Falcon now.
Yeah,
No, a good episode.
it is.
Do you
I
guys
don't know
think
if
he's
there's-
gonna rename the boat to Steve?
Oh, don't do that.
Please, no, that would be so good. Because because then it'll be even more complicated because then they'll always be talking about Steve, and we'll still be like, is he alive? Is he still around? But they're actually talking about the boats.
Oh, what if
So I
it's
took a ride on Steve last week, out on the sea, had a good time.
I was waiting for you to make the funny had a good time writing Steve joke. As soon as you mentioned, well, they named the boat Steve, I'm like, this is the only reason he brought that up.
You may have not be right.
Yeah, no, that's definitely let's hope they don't do that. What if they name the new boat? What if they named the boat?
Let's hope they named
if-
the boat OnlyFans. I'll have even more to talk about.
Steve Rogers OnlyFans.
What if they name it Zemo and then sail us to Wakanda?
Oh wow, they get shot out.
Yeah, we got you, Zemo, just as you wanted.
Yeah.
The next Zemo's old ass butler, like captain the boat there.
What if they use the boat to break Zemo out of the raft again?
See, now we're thinking.
Basically,
The raft's out in the water.
Yeah. You know what goes on water? Boats.
Whoa.
basically, the Wakandans have taken Zemo back to Wakanda, and they're going to free his mind of all his sociopath like thoughts, and then
So they're gonna brainwash him.
yeah, they're going to brainwash him, and then they're going to call him White Wolf, and they're going to say to Bucky, "Oh, you're not using your name enough, so we have a new White Wolf."
And then they're gonna take the arm back, and they're gonna cut one of Zemo's arms off, and they're gonna be like, "Here you go."
That's it.
But what if
Yeah,
they cut
that's
off?
it.
They cut off like Zemo's right arm, so he has 2 left arms.
That's funnier than it should be.
It is.
That's hilarious.
They should cut off one of his arms. Your name is Bucky Barnes. You were going to do that. You were the Winter Soldier for 20 years, 40, 50, whatever.
Homecoming, Freight Train.
You killed our king. But you're good now. Also, we didn't have a left arm. Sorry, we didn't have a right arm, and unfortunately, that's the one you lost. So tough luck. But here you go. Why does it look like it's made for a taller man? Don't worry about it.
You'll grow into it.
Just spat my tea out.
Oh,
There is one more thing that actually I want to mention.
Jeepers, son. Fine.
A complaint,
Oh.
because we've
I'm
been
back.
saying too many
Oh,
good things about the show.
We are.
It's very minor, but you guys know when they were at like the UN, that scene where they were all talking nonsense,
Mhm.
and then all the lights went out, and they were like, "Oh no, what's happening?"
Yeah.
And then 2 security guards walked by each other, and they just said, one world, one people.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
It was very Hail Hydra, but worse.
It was literally that you've literally gone and made. You spent 4 episodes trying to build up the enemies as sympathetic. Sorry, and like, oh,
Empathetic.
they're not just bad. They have issues that are not just silly giant laser going to destroy the Earth issues. And then you've gone and made him straight up Hydra 2.0.
The Nazis.
The Nazis, yeah.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Like,
I did like
was
that scene though, where Batroc the Leaper was giving her a bunch of Uzis, and she just opened her phone to see how many flag smashers happened to be in the area, and just everyone in the park was like, "Yeah, we're with your cause."
It's kind
Which,
of like,
again, it doesn't make any sense because she blew up a building. But anyways,
yeah, it's
she's not a good guy.
it's like
No.
a very, very dangerous game of Pokemon Go. How many are in your area? All of them? Okay.
they all want to beat Captain America to death. Cool.
So the reason I brought this up is basically, she's definitely going to be Red Skull's granddaughter.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, because of the Hydra thing. Yeah, okay,
Yep.
sure.
Oh,
There you go.
okay.
I am justified. I did
Oh,
not just
Yeah,
have a fever dream one night and then tell you about
That's
it.
a good point. Oh.
Is
What
it?
if it-
I don't think it is, but okay.
what if they fight to like the rooftop of the UN building, and then Sam and Bucky are there, and it's a standoff, and she has a gun to somebody's head? How about that old man with the beard? And she's like, well, there's one thing you don't know about me. I'm Red Skull's great granddaughter. And then John Walker just throws that makeshift shield at her, and it just lodges in her face.
And then her skin
And
falls off. All you see is red, and then she
Oh, yeah.
becomes the Red Daughter.
The Red Daughter. Jeez.
In the comics, she was called Sin, but I was like, nah.
Anyways,
gonna
I think that's most of this episode, unless we have any other complaints.
Um,
I like the little bit. I like the little bit where Falcon was like, "Why didn't you just use your hand to fix the pipe?" And he was like, "I'm right-handed. I just don't think about it."
Yeah.
That was a really nice detail. I really would have liked more of that in this
Yeah.
previous episodes, honestly.
Yeah, true. I agree. Yeah, because I feel like that's kind of what we want to see more of with the TV show, because there's kind of more time to do stuff like that.
Yeah. Can we have another Jordan's gun minute as well? Because I always like to say a bit of firearm related thing whenever we talk about something.
Yeah, I'm just
It's
gonna
about time.
real quick.
I'll get the laugh track ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's not
I'm
funny.
I'm not.
It's not fun, guys.
We'll find out.
Anyways,
We can't have firearms.
I like the bit where Bucky like points a sig at Zemo, and then he like cocks back the hammer. And I thought, okay, either that gun's empty or Marvel just don't care about guns again. Which I know they don't, because in Ant-Man they had a CGI hammer just put in the back of a Glock so that they could have the ants stop it, which is it bothers me too many. No, Sam, nah. But
No sound.
no. But I like the bit then when he like pours all the bullets out of his left hand. I'm like, that was unnecessary. That doesn't prove anything. Like,
I was also thinking, I was also thinking, well, like after they all leave, is he just gonna stand there, pick them all up, or is he just gonna leave them there?
You gonna litter?
gonna leave them for some kid to pick up and throw in the fire.
Yeah.
Go off and kill a family.
You're gonna wait until someone walks past there with an empty gun in their hands and just sees the bullets on the floor.
Just plugs it in. It's the wrong side.
Yeah.
The gun goes off and takes off her hand. But it's like the thing is that meant he got his gun. He took the magazine out. He took all the bullets out of the magazine. Put the magazine back in the gun. Held it empty up to Zemo's head. Pulled the hammer back, and then dropped all the bullets. To what end? Just to make Zemo, just to be like, oh, I'm gonna make you think I'll kill you, but no, I'm not gonna.
And also I have bullets in my hands.
Look at that! Look at him fall.
This is actually a Nerf gun. Imagine just showing up with a Nerf gun, just like pointing at Zemo.
Imagine it's just like it's an airsoft prop and he shoots him in the eye and Zemo's ow!
Oh,
but
yeah. I think the last thing I'll say about this episode is I really don't know how the final episode's going to go, just because there's so much going on now. and
Mhm.
they're gonna definitely have to sacrifice some plot line somewhere. We'll either be left thinking what's John Walker gonna do, or what happened to the Flag Smashers, or
Mm.
one of those things. And
I
I don't
think-
know. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just going to say, I think Walker's going to be a long-term thing. I don't think he's going to
Yeah.
have much to do in the next episode.
Actually, I feel like they can probably lead us quite well into the Skrull saga.
True.
Quite possibly. I feel like of all the things that they're planning on doing, that's probably the most ambitious thing to connect with
Yeah.
the show.
Very possibly.
That'd be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Flag
Well,
Smashers are not super soldiers at all, they're all Skrulls.
Wow, imagine a better way to make us not care about them at all.
Yeah, but the way to show us that would have been when one of that guy's head taken off. So
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been so good. Yeah. That should have been really good. Well, the moment's passed. I guess John
Yeah.
Walker just has to go around cutting people's heads off until he finds one of them's.
It's for research. We have to decapitate them all.
For science.
For America.
John, that shield's made of cardboard. What are you doing? That can't hurt people. John, no. Bucky, put down your Nerf gun, Bucky.
But no, is that us for the weekend?
I think it is, unless we have anything other TV show stuff to talk about. I haven't been watching Invincible past week just because I've been pretty busy, but I'm gonna get back on it as soon as I have the time. That's pretty cool.
Without spoiling anything, it's still great. It's still really good.
Nice.
This episode takes a kind of horror spin, and it goes pretty cool.
Sam, what about you? You've been watching anything?
Really? Have I? No.
Sam thinks Riverdale, and he says no.
Riverdale's been on pause till July. Otherwise, I would talk about that, but I can't.
Rip.
We should talk about Hunters some week, Sam.
No,
we should. Why would I bring that show up again? It's terrible. No, we're not.
No.
We all just watch like a really, really mad show.
You know what I
Until
think we
they
should
go-
watch? You know what I think we should watch? Is The Inhumans.
I was watched the first 2 episodes of that.
Really?
Yeah, we were locked down.
It looks like the worst thing ever.
I can't get into it. That's all. It's also very like unpopular for Marvel stuff. Like, I go on Disney Plus and I see so many Marvel shows, and I'm just like, where have all these come from? Runaways. I don't know anything about that.
That's pretty good.
Is it really?
Yeah, probably. The only thing that really annoys me is there's 3 seasons of it, and for some reason the third isn't on Disney Plus.
Where would they put it?
I remember at first I thought, they couldn't get the rights to it at the time because it came out on Hulu in the US originally.
Yeah.
Because it came out before Disney Plus was a thing.
Okay.
And so I remember when I first got Disney Plus, which was like last year in May, I think, they had the first 2 seasons, and I looked up like, when's the 3rd season coming on? There's like, there's some disputes, but I figured once they had their whole Star expansion, it would just be part of it.
Yeah.
No, like unless they added it like last week or so, it's not there. But I think once they finally get it on there, we could talk about that show. It's not terrible, in my opinion. Yeah.
Cool. Maybe we should just have a funny streaming nights where we just like live stream us reacting to a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Let's just watch Batman and Robin, guys.
I've seen that movie so many times.
Me too.
Upsetting.
I haven't for 4 years though.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time.
Next time.
In fairness. But anyways, we'll talk about that. But I think other than that, that's the episode.
Yeah, I think next week we're obviously going to talk about the final episode of Falcon Winter Soldier.
No, we're not. We've talked about all of them, and then I guess the final line we just say, guys, we're not going to watch this. Sorry, we know we know all our listeners have been waiting for this final episode, but we just can't watch it.
That would be a very us thing to do, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk Snyder Cut instead.
Again.
I really enjoyed that movie, but I never want to talk about it again.
We talked so much about it. Like, the whole lead up, like the whole 2-hour episode of talking about all the movies before, it was just such a filler thing. But
Yeah.
Also, we could probably edit out a lot of dead air in this episode.
Yeah, we could.
We could, or we could just leave it there because.
Yes.
We can just put a laugh track in every time it's dead air. It'll stop everything.
Yeah. So let's just do that. I leave that to the editor's discretion. I'm going to keep plugging away to the social media that nobody follows.
Yeah, Jordan.
I told Jordan how to hyperlink link in his bio today because
I'm sorry.
It's
he
stupid.
didn't know. Hey guys,
I'm
what's
sorry, boys.
the link in our bio? Oh wait, you can't.
Yeah, John, you know, when you say, oh, this platform has no followers, you know who they look to change that? The guy that does the social media, which is you.
That's a lot of weight to put on my shoulders. But
I'm
I'll do it.
editing.
I'll turn it around. All right?
We believe in you.
What does Colm do again? Oh, you handle the Podbean.
Yeah.
You handle the Podbean stuff. Yeah. I clean forgot about the fact he's
I
going
don't do
anywhere.
anything, guys.
It's like we've been recording these and Sal's been editing these and Colm's just been sitting there like,
Emotional support. Yeah.
Oh, I do a podcast.
all right,
Jordan,
well,
we got 2 likes, not 1 like on that latest post. So nice.
oh, nice, incredible. That's one
Who
that
did you
wasn't
bully
you.
into liking our post?
I messaged. I got nothing funny to say. I was kind of make a joke, but I can't make that funny. All right. Well, that's us for another week. If you want to find us, we're Podcast of Solitude on Instagram. We are. Is it the? No, it's just Podcast of Solitude at gmail.com.
Yeah.
We
may be episodes as on Podbean. We may be under episodes as opposed to podcasts.
Yeah, maybe you can't find us in Podbean, but the link is there if you go through the Instagram. But other than that, that's the show. That's the episode.
It is.
That is the episode.
Yeah.
Thank you for
listening.